And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Transport Fever. Making money. It is coming in pretty much steady, as long as, we bought $80 million worth of new railroad, so that is why this year is pretty low, but all things being equal, we only have one airplane bought in this current year, and we're making almost $60 million. But I think we can do better. Granted, our goal is $1 billion. And after $1 billion, I don't know what I want to do. I kind of want to take a look at the campaigns, but I've been doing a lot of reading on those, and it seems there are some issues that people are having with some of the campaigns. So, not sure what I want to do. So after I hit $1 billion, I might just add a bunch of mods to the game and see how crazy we can get profitability. So in the meantime, I would like to start working a little on a new production chain. These new production chains, I've pretty much got the easy ones out of the way. I mean, the food to the food processor, you can see this food processor is just going gangbusters here. So the food to the food processor, that's one of the easiest chains. The other easy chain is the stone to the construction materials. That is a very simple chain. But beyond that, as it gets a little more complex, we've got the machine chain, which requires either a ton of planks or steel to make some tools. Or you can combine them both to make machines. Or if you have the plastic, you can just use steel and plastic. You can also use plastic to make goods. See if we have a goods manufacturer around here somewhere. There's one right here. This is goods, and so you're going to need planks again, in one of either plastic or steel. One of either. You don't want to give both, because the way the game operates, the industries really like one or the other. So as long as you're supplying one, it's fine. And if you start supplying both, it doesn't work out too well. A good example of that is the food situation. If we look at the food processor, it wants either grain or livestock. And so this whole time I've been trying to supply both. However, it doesn't really like that. So you'll get either a gross abundance of grain, or if your lines, I think it goes by line frequency. So my grain, I have 2 trains on grain and only 1 on livestock. So it detects that and it starts supplying more and more grain. And my production facility doesn't care which one it gets. It just wants one or the other. So I've learned quite a lot about this game in the last week or two. And so there are definitely things that we could do to better our situation and just have a more streamlined game, I guess. So I would like to start getting fuel, because this is another easy chain. It's crude oil to a refinery. You can make fuel or oil. I want to get some fuel, and I want to start sending fuel into both Hartford and Custer. And to do that, I've got a station right here as a preemptive measure, because this takes oil to make plastic. So you can send either 1 oil to make some plastic, or it takes 2 grain to make the same plastic. So you're looking at twice the need for ingredients to get the same amount of plastic. And I think we'll be able to handle Oh, let's go 6. Now, is this... Yeah, see, you can see it highlighting. One of the recent changes that they made to the game was a little bit easier to see when a station is capturing a industry. We just had a flight go by. All right. So, where was I? I think 240 is a good length. 320 is getting a little extreme, and it gets really expensive quickly. How do I want to angle this? Kind of want to have a little bit more angle like this. Not too concerned with how much it's costing right now. Just because this chain of industries and supply are going to be very, very lucrative in no time at all. Granted, it takes a couple years for the system to update. Look at that. That industry is right on the tail end of that industry there. So, yeah, it takes a couple years for all of the industries involved to really catch up with demand. And demand is solely dictated by your cities. I don't know if I've explained this. I think I have. I think I've explained this. But let's run down this as I build this right now. So if we look at Hartford right now is a pretty good size. Not the biggest city that I've ever seen. But if we look at fuel, 242. So once I hook Hartford up to the fuel system, Hartford will tell this refinery, hey, I need 242 fuel. And Hartford refinery say, okay, you need 242 fuel. I need 242 crude. And so that tells the industry over here, hey, give me 242. And now that, keep in mind, that is per year. Oh, that's a per year thing. So unless that value is very, very high, you can usually get away with using just one train to deliver that in 1 year. So you don't want to go overboard with your delivery. Okay, now it's time for some very expensive track laying. And I think what I want to do is set up this very outside. Oh, no, I don't want to upgrade. Okay, so this very outside. See how this... Oh, look at that corner. So... we are going to kind of bend this just ever so slightly. Okay, now it's time to really spend some money. And first off, take out some road. We will have to replace it because the towns don't like it when you start destroying stuff that they have access to. Okay, so if I take this right to here, I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to want to kind of build a hump over the water. I don't plan on building ships. No more ships, I don't think. Really not very cost effective. Let's see. You want to be steel. Keep the speeds up if I can. Keep that speed a steady 186 for no reason whatsoever other than future options. Now this oil we're going to want to double up on. because we're going to eventually be pulling a lot of fuel out of here. So we're going to double up on this. I love how you can just lay a double track in this game. So nice to be able to just have it snap right to the side of that. Okay, I think our station, yeah. I want to make sure we've got plenty. Oh, no, no, no. We're going to take a little bit more off. Make sure that's maximum speed as we can get. Now, signal is here's the lowdown on signals. Train lines are platform based, so they will only ever service one lane in a platform. Beyond that, in between the 2 points, you can do whatever you want with the tracks. And a really good way of running multiple trains on a track is to use a one-way signal. And so the game knows that if you place signals on the outsides like this, you're gonna want one lane going one direction and the other lane coming one direction back. And it's very good at maintaining that, so you can run multiple trains on a line. Now, the signals in between, naturally, if we have more than one train, and eventually if we have 3 or 4 trains, these interspersed signals here will allow the trains to move and get further along in the line, even if there's another train down the tracks. Just placing these. I don't anticipate having too many trains on here initially, but depending on how big our cities get, we're going to want to make sure we've got a little bit of future proofing on that. The last step is a depot, and let's see, that's a very outside lane. I want just a little stub, but I need it to be level, because depots don't place unless it's level. So if you're having trouble with depots, make sure the track feeding into it is on a level ground. Okay, we have crude. So let's set up that line. I want to set up, it's going to be black because it's oil, obviously. And here, I actually want to rename this refinery. So we have the Elk Grove North and we have the El Paso refinery. We're going to name this Elk Crude. Like that. Okay. Now, the tough part is the supply of fuel into the city. So this is where it's going to get a little tricky. I'm going to go under with these just because. Where did you hook up? We're going to go one more under here. Actually, I can go bridge over because it's trenched in like that pretty easily. Get rid of my flashy warnings up there. There we go. Everything is hooked up. Now, the fuel supply has to kind of squeeze right in here because this is fuel is for industry, and this station really captures all that industry right there. So we are going to want to shove some fuel right into there. And El Paso is going to be a little bit tricky to deal with. As such, this is going to get also really messy. So let's first give ourselves a little bit of room. And I'm thinking spending a little bit of money, okay, a lot of money, and tunneling under all of that and popping out somewhere over here. I think that would be kind of cool. But I don't know if I have enough space here for a tunnel. If I go out like this, do I have enough space? I don't have enough space for a tunnel. Okay, so we're going to have to rethink this road system. Sorry commuters, but you are just not a priority. Get rid of this all the way. Okay, so there is El Paso, and we're going to want to loop as much as we can straight through. See, like that is a nice skip everything sort of tunnel. Very expensive, but we don't mind too much. If I want to wrap that around, once I hook this up to a station, it should route around like that. Give me the most optimal path, including going underneath the city. But the most optimum path obviously maximizes your speed on the line. And that is a very, very expensive tunnel. But you know what? It's only money, you know. It will come and it will go. And all will be well with the world here. So make sure that's on an even playing field. And then slap a depot. Oh, that was an expensive depot. Okay, so we have our first supply run and we have our first delivery run. And look at food. Good Lord. I'm looking forward to getting the updated. Oh, those might be the updated. I think those are the modern boxcars. Yeah, those are definitely modern boxcars. Look at the big boy. We are almost at the we're at the edge of steam right now. We are getting close to not needing any more steam engines. And look at coal. Wow. I'm going to need to double up on my coal trains here. I thought I did. I've got one coal train there and one iron train. I swear I doubled up on my coal. I think I built the infrastructure, but I didn't actually add an engine for coal. So let's do that. What is the color? I'm guessing it's just black because it's coal. And let's look at maybe using an alternative here. So we've got one engine here, 1,700 horsepower, 65 miles an hour, or 2,200 horsepower. I would like to maybe use this guy here, 1.5 million. That's essentially two of these. Two of these would be about 1 million, and that would be 3,400 horsepower. I'm going to go with two of these. And you buy two engines, and then you just move one of them up, and there you go. You've got a two-headed train. And we're going to set this on coal just to be safe. You don't have to. And let's see. Coal is, sitting at 84. Interesting. That's probably why we're not moving a whole lot. How old are you? 39. He's almost ready to retire. So let's build this. I want about 180. So 10 gondolas will finish that off. And in the meantime, get that hitch out of the way. We're going to want to switch this out for a better model. So if we go to buff coal, replacement, set vehicle, set the color, add 2 of those, set this to coal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are $33 million trains. And we're going to set this at, he's full of coal, so let's continue that. And we're going to want to immediately set this guy to the right line. And what is the speed on these? 62. And what is the speed on that other engine? The more modern diesel engine is 65. So we're going to be able to go a little bit faster, but we're going to have way more horsepower. There's only 952 horsepower. We're putting a train in place that is basically 3,400 horsepower, 3,200 horsepower. So I'm going to set this at 25%, and yes. So as soon as he hits this station, he'll blink out of existence, and the new train will be reset, and it will keep all of the finances, which is really, really good, because it allows you to see if your new train is actually profitable. So we're going to speed up time a little bit just to move things along here, because this guy is really slow. And now we want buff coal on this. He should. Now switch out. Doink. There it is. More coal. And we got 2-headed train now. So there. Oh, it just turned around. Beautiful. All right. So we're going to set this back to 100% and doing that 100% makes sure that it doesn't warn me when it's old. If you set it if you leave it at 25, it will actually come up and warn you when it hits 25, and I don't want to be warned. I want to be warned at 100%, and I want it to not replace. And the reason why you don't just keep this as yes is because new vehicles are constantly being released, and if you have everything set on replace automatically, then by the time the replacement time comes up, 35, 25 years later, you've got a whole new train that you can use, or a whole new vehicle or bus. And if they're automatically being replaced, then the problem becomes, how do you replace vehicles that are 2 months old because they just replaced? Okay, the last thing I want to do this episode is cover my bases, get all of this stuff ready and error-free. And you are underground. So I want to take you and pop you over. Hook you right up, and you're still complaining to me. Why are you complaining to me? Oh, I didn't hook up. Yeah, way down here, I didn't hook this up. So this can come right in here. There we go. Squared away. All right, come back next episode where we finally put this new line to use. So I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.